easy route or exit, that's accepting defeat, and I'm not going to. So I contested in Mangalagiri in 2024, and I'm really proud to say that I won it with the highest majority that Andhra Pradesh has ever seen, which is 91,000 votes.
Wow.
Political journey, it's had great highs and great lows. He takes his highs as he takes his lows. And for me, that's been a great lesson. And that's what I've learned from him, and that's the way I've taken my political journey also.
Wow, that was good. Today I had an incredible opportunity to spend time with you, Lokesh Garu. So some of the things what I've observed is like you're a straight shooter in terms about how you compose yourself when you're talking about investments. Just want to understand especially when you're trying to bridge some of the gaps, especially in terms about creating an enterprise, because a lot of our audience are mostly in small business enterprises. So when you graduated from Stanford and went back to India, you had a role at Heritage as a director. So when you actually ran both an enterprise company and then you came back into politics, how was that experience? Because a lot of our audience here would want to understand how to create an enterprise.
I think that's a very good question. They're quite stark, they're quite different. In the private sector, when you are the boss, you decide the direction, you understand the journey, the results speak for themselves. If 1 month you miss something, you know where to correct. I think politics, you only get elections once every 5 years at the state level. So it gets very difficult to figure out whether you're in the right trajectory. And it's very important to remain grounded, meet people, hear from them, understand whether what you're doing is right and whether what decisions you're taking are meeting with their aspirations or not. So for me, that was very, very important. I think both journeys are mutually exclusive, but one thing I have learned being in the private sector and now in politics is building your team. You need to decide early on who can take you to a logical conclusion. I mean, who will be part of your journey. I think that's very important because when I joined Heritage, we had a crisis. Things were not good. We were losing a lot of money because of our retail expansion. Dairy was not bringing in that much of profit. So I had to decide early on the direction, trajectory of the business. Then I had to figure out whether the leaders believed in that vision or not. And based on that, I had to take decisions. I think politics is all about that also. I think you need people who believe in your vision, but also have that boldness to correct you when you're making mistakes. So in that sense, in terms of building your team, building the leadership in both organizations is something that I find very similar.
Yes. So I think building upon that, also, you come from a legendary family, want to, building upon the legacy of your family, what is the vision that you create, especially like, for example, want to understand the expectations, like say, for example, when I was going to engineering school, I had expectations from my parents that, are you going to be an engineer or a doctor? Coming from a family, with a lot of legacy, how did you manage your expectations? How did you, come yourself, like, finding those differences?
I mean, even if you look at, even in business, when you come from a certain business family, the institution might have certain expectations on you. Similarly, in politics, there are greater expectations. People expect you to behave in a certain manner, respond in a certain manner. But if you look at my journey in politics, I've always broken the mold. I have chosen the road less traveled. Membership in Telugu Desam Party was never a smooth affair. And in 2014, I chose that as my focus area. Similarly, in 2019, when I had to contest election, there's always a debate on which seat I should contest from. Generally, political legacies, people, second generation, third generation politicians choose a safe seat. I chose Mangalagiri. And Mangalagiri is a seat that we did not win since 1985. So I said, I should try it out. I should challenge myself. And, political legacies are not about safe seats. I think we should choose a road less traveled. I lost in 2019 by 5,300 votes. I never felt bad. I said, I didn't have enough of time to convince the people of Mangalagiri on what Lokesh is. So I spent 5 years, I worked on it. I said I'm going to contest from here. And in this process, a lot of people told me, why not contest from a safe seat also, just in case you lose. And I told them, if I do take an easy route or exit, that's accepting defeat, and I'm not going to. So I contested in Mangalagiri in 2024, and I'm really proud to say that I won it with the highest majority that Andhra Pradesh has ever seen, which is 91,000 votes.
Wow.
Again, after that, when the ministries were being selected, and when I spoke to Babu Garu about what I should do, and he asked me, what do you want? What do you think you want? I said, let me take HRD. Human resource development is one of the most toughest ministries, a lot of teacher unions, and I love the challenge. And it's a great opportunity for me to shape next generation leaders, thinkers, engineers, scientists, doctors. So I always believe as leaders we should take a road less travel and transform in your own way. And that is what I have learned in my political journey.
Wow, that was a great insight, Lokesh Garu. And then given a lot of interviews that I watched, and then a couple of times that I've interacted with you, and then given that you also won Scotch Person of the Year for Digital Award, and given that, the importance of technology in governance, how do you think, especially, technology can play an important role in terms about rural communities that you advocate for?
It's a fact that technology has changed all our lives. India has been lucky. We jumped the PC era, went straight to smartphones. There's more smartphones in India than there are toilets. That's a known fact. I think that presents a very unique opportunity in terms of governance. One thing I regret that we didn't do enough in our last term is to actually transform processes. What we did was digitize broken processes. But this time around, we want to correct it. We are actually looking at business process re-engineering in the government. And I'm looking at how can we deliver seamless governance in the hands of people, in the hands of citizens. How do you make politicians and IS officers irrelevant in day-to-day governance and in day-to-day citizens' lives? So that's where I believe technology will play an important role, but it's also important to transform our processes and re-engineer our processes. And this is what you will see happening in Andhra Pradesh in the next 9 months.
Okay, that was a great insight as well, Lokesh Garu. And then today, one of the insight that I had was you discussed a lot about investing in Vizag, particularly the area that's more interesting, especially in terms about technology investment, for both IT serve community as well as a larger audience. Do you want to highlight some of the few things that's so critical about that area that's very prone in terms about technology investments? Especially in terms about Vizag.
See, being a new state, Andhra Pradesh is presented with a unique opportunity. And that opportunity is to decentralize development and not center development around one city or one ecosystem. Way back in 2014, Mr. Naidu had a clear vision of which district should do what. And that's why Kia came to Anantapur, TCL, Foxconn came to Chittoor and Nellore. And we had Amravati as our capital. And from day one, I strongly believe that Visakhapatnam should be our IT capital, because I believe it has the right ingredients. Now let's talk about what are those right ingredients. It has amazing connectivity. It has great engineering colleges, amazing talent. And I jokingly keep saying that if Bangalore were to marry Goa and have a child, that will be Visakhapatnam. It's such a beautiful city, gorgeous ecosystem. And I truly believe that for IT, not only to survive, but to thrive, Visakhapatnam has all the right ingredients. As a state, we personally believe that the data revolution is here, and Andhra Pradesh is well poised in terms of harnessing that revolution. As all of you are aware, globally close to $300 billion are getting invested in data centers. And our agenda is to actually bring about 100 billion of that to back that with AI education and particularly focus on an AI university.
little bit off topic and also a candid question, Lokesh Garu. So I heard you heard from Indra when she was talking about her tata. I think a lot of audience in the room is waiting to hear this answer also. Do you want to get some reminiscent thoughts or memories about spending your time with your tata?
I mean, Johar N.T.R. I mean, Annagaru is larger than life. And from my childhood, that's all I remember about him. And all of us were very scared as grandchildren. Because, I mean, he was a tall personality there. But he had a very emotional connect with all his grandchildren. And he personally named all of us. So, you know, I got Lokesh because of him. And all my cousins have their names because of him. So he had a lot of personal attachment with all of us. But honestly, we were just too many of us for him to spend time and nurture our aspirations and ambitions. But he was very humble, and every birthday, you know, we used to go meet with him, spend time with him. And the way he would share love and affection is to feed you to the extent where you'll end up throwing up. I remember this so well. And that is the way he would show love and affection for all of us. I mean, he's left behind a great legacy for us to lead from the front and to take it forward.
Wow, I think everybody, you know, kind of, goes family. Coming to the topic about technology again, the state of AP basically is called Annapurna, which is rice bowl of India. So for that, basically is the bedrock is farming and farmers. So given, and I also see a lot of times you spoke about, ecosystems, like, developing ecosystems. So just want